Yes, it has nothing to do with love. They don't want love. They simply wanted to quench that fire. That was a couple that I came across on the verge of divorce. Still, they would like to allow some time, a window period to explore, to see whether they are able to mend things, to mend what was broken, to sew stitches and pull things together. And there was a time it came with a serious fight between the two, and for whatever reason, they ended up with having sex together. And because of having sex, somehow it served as a green light, so one of them eased into it and secured this opportunity to offer a patch up and saying, let's forget about the divorce, let's forget about the past, and be forward looking to have a clean slate, to have a hard reset, to start things all over again. But then the other person simply replied, that's purely about sex, and there is nothing more than that. While it's hurtful hearing that, because that's emotional invalidation in one dimension, but still, it reflects the reality. Sex is one aspect, and love is something else. And they are suggesting if you have this wishful thinking, if you have this unrealistic expectation, considering having sex necessitates the solution to the problems that's being surfaced in this marriage, or they still have feelings, emotions, they still love you, then we are speaking two completely different language. We are not on the same page. Obviously, they invalidated your emotions. They shut the door on your face. They gave you a bad taste of medicine where you feel you are being denied. You feel you are being used, you are being taken advantage of, and they challenged, they questioned your sense of self worth. Of course, you do have mental clarity. You are able to come to senses knowing that there is no such absolute, apparent correlation between sex and love. But still, your mind spirals and it takes you down a road of illusion where you unknowingly ended up with establishing a definite connection between sex and love. Especially in this case, they started it, they initiated it. And you are going to think that if they don't have feelings for you, if they don't love you, if they don't have this intention of making things work out with you, smoothing things over, to take things forward together with you, then they wouldn't even bother to be intimate with you. Well, apparently, it's not about who started it or who initiated it, because ultimately the conclusion is that you also agreed and there is a mutual consent. And here they also made it very apparent and explicit, stating and pointing out that it's purely about sex. At that moment, they had sexual needs, they had high sex drive, and they made an offer. You also agreed somehow a mutual ground, a mutual consent is being achieved. That's it. And they are telling you that there are no strings attached being intimate together. This is not a conditional offer they are making. They simply want to quench their fire because they have sexual desire. Of course, it's going to make you feel worse because you feel you are being used. But this is a very good opportunity that life is knocking your door, gently nudging you to revisit what is the meaning of sex in a relationship or in a marriage for you? What is the role of sex in a marriage or in a relationship for you? Somehow, sex is being seen as an inexpensive, simple, multifunction, open sesame to allow somebody to get what they want, and it becomes a solution to resolve things. For example, somebody is going to use sex as a compensation to make something up for you. For example, they make a mistake, they did something wrong, a mistake or wrongdoing, and they are going to use sex as a form of correction or rectification, or there are some conflicts or some problems, heated situations between you and another person, and somehow for whatever reason both of you just ended up with having sex together. Possibly at that moment it settled things, but with the passage of time the problems, issues still resurface, and it is still unsettling. So apparently, sex is independent of love, and sex is not the solution to the root of the problem itself. And here, it is also life knocking your door, requesting you to revisit what love truly means in a relationship or in a marriage. What is love to you? Because love is independent of sex. And what or who makes you feel loved? Because love can happen without an object. Love needs not happen with any kind of ownership. It is only a moment of self realization that you feel you're being loved. Here, if somebody is being with a person who's a celibate, sexually abstinent, does it mean that there is no love at all because there is no sex? So therefore, it's really a time for you to revisit when somebody who are being self-centered, self-absorbed, who are emotionally unavailable to sweep all your feelings and emotions under the carpet. They are being inconsiderate, they are being insensitive to your concerns, to your feelings, shutting the door right on your face. You may want to see and consider whether this is somebody who is really worthwhile for you to invest your time and effort in them, because they are emotionally unavailable and you cannot expect much from a cup that is being empty. And also avoid falling into this dangerous equation, which is a trap, that love somehow is being equivalent to sex. And this is the end of the video. I hope this resonates with you somehow, and do leave a comment below to share your experiences or your thoughts about it. And thank you for staying with me until now. See you next time. Bye.